Suppose the question says, find the mean age of all people who visit a particular fitness center. And the question is basically saying, find the mean age of all people who visit the fitness center. The question really is saying, find mu. Remember, mu is the population mean. Mu is a symbol that is used for the population mean, the mean of everyone who visits the fitness center. So everyone who visits the center is called the population. It's the big set. So we can never find mean for large populations. The best we can do by using statistics is to estimate the mean. So even if the question really says find the mean, we can only estimate the mean mu. So mu, I'm reminding you over and over again, is the population mean. So that's the reason why we cannot find an exact value for it. If it's a sample of like 10 people or 100 people or 1,000 people, we can always find an exact mean. But the reason we need to estimate mu is because we can never find it. So how do we do this? First, we collect a sample. Look at this green part, which is the sample from the population. So we randomly collect a sample from the population, let's say of n people. N is the size of the sample. The first thing we do once we collect the sample, we take their ages. Those are the measurements we collect from them, that is their age. And we find the average of all the ages in the sample. And that's denoted by the letter X bar. X bar is the sample mean. Once we find X bar, we construct what is called a confidence interval. How do we do that? We take X bar, and I'm drawing a number line here. So X bar plays a very important role, obviously, because we use X bar, which is the sample mean, to make an estimate of the actual or true population or the population mean. We take X bar and then we calculate using a certain formula and a confidence level, which we pick, which is 90 or 95%. We calculate the margin of error. Now, once we calculate the margin of error, we take X bar, we subtract the margin of error. So we get a number smaller than X bar to the left of it on the number line. We add the margin of error. Margin of error is a number. We add that number and get something larger than X bar. So it is on the right of the number X bar. So once we do that, X bar sits in the middle, X bar minus M on the left, X bar plus M on the right. So using X bar minus M and X bar plus M, we construct, this is a confidence interval. So we've constructed a confidence interval. A confidence interval is nothing but a range of values that is used to estimate the mean. So at the end of the problem, we say with a certain level of confidence that mu, the population mean, sits between X bar minus M and X bar plus M. X bar minus M always to the left of X bar plus M. So at the end of the problem, we make a conclusion, and we have to word this conclusion very carefully. And this is what we talked about in the last video. So what's our conclusion or the concluding statement? We say we are 95% confident. So we're reading this first statement, which is the only correct statement. We are 95% confident that the mean age of all people, and let's remember that is mu, because we're talking about the entire population, the average of the entire population, who use the fitness center is between 36.5 years and 38.5 years. How did we get that? In parentheses, you can see it is 37.5 plus or minus 1. What does that mean? This number is X bar. And remember what X bar is? It's the sample mean. We add and subtract what is called the margin of error M. And that is how we get the the range of values with a lower endpoint of 36.5 and a higher endpoint of 38.5. So we basically claim that with 95% confidence, we say that the true mean that we're trying to estimate lies between 36.5 years and 38.5 years. Now, in the last video, we saw two incorrect conclusions, or rather interpretations of the conclusion. So this was the first one, this was the second. These are all wrong interpretations. So we got to read the sentence carefully and interpret the sentence correctly. And let's look at this third statement. And before I even start, I'm going to tell you that's a wrong statement. The true mean age, so that's mu we're talking about, of people who use the fitness center is 37.5 years. So what is this 37.5 years? Remember, the interval was given as 37.5 years plus or minus 1 year. So it's 36.5 years and 38.5 years. So that is the range of values. So the true mean age of people who use the fitness center is between these two numbers. If you remember what this 37.5 years is, based on the formula for confidence intervals, that is x bar, and x bar is the sample mean. So it's very important to remember the notation for sample mean and population mean. So that is the sample mean. So you're basically saying that the true mean is equal to the sample mean, which is completely incorrect. The true mean can never be found as being exactly 37.5 years. That would be impossible. That comes from the sample. That is the sample mean and not the population mean. So this is a wrong interpretation of the conclusion.